chance to get away from him and Rangers.
Well, that'll interest people. The home side, second best in the attacking areas, Martin. I don't think that does emphasise the last 5 or 10 minutes. I agree with you, it's been Celtic's best part of the match so far. They're most confident.
For McLaren, sensing a relatively rare opportunity to make a forward sortie down the Rangers' right. Well won by Bowley, indeed as he was being fouled by Walker. Rangers trying to take the free kick quickly, but from the wrong place. Jim McCluskey continues to give the right air of authority without having to produce a rash of yellow cards. A challenge from Rangers. Bowley's approach to the ball was rather blocked off. It's McCall. ...34 now, Pat Bonner, been with Celtic since the late 70s. Quickly forward by McStay, trying to drop it behind Goff, who repositioned. McStay on the scene, nippily again.
That was good play by Paul McStay. Really a throw-in in the halfway line. He just asked for it to be thrown in. He volleyed it forward and really did make up some ground to be first to it.
A message from Archie Knox to Charlie Miller.
I think there's a problem, Mark, because I think Archie Knox indicated to one of the subs to get himself warmed up.
Crossed by Galloway. Don't really back McLaughlin to win too many headers. And indeed, in trying to get any advantage he could, a free kick was given against him.
Well, he had a word and then turned round, Archie Knox, as if to say to Ian Durant, get ready, you just might be going on. But when we look at the time, I think they'll be anxious to make sure that nothing happens till half-time at least.
And Miller is not moving freely. McLaren. The way Rangers have set out their formation, if they want to play through the middle, and they've been trying to get the ball to Charlie Miller's feet, but that's been difficult enough when he's been in full working order, which he doesn't seem to be at the moment. It's too high for him.
See, I just think when the ball's played up like that, you would be looking for Gordon Jury to be making runs in behind. He's just standing, waiting to see, and I would just be asking for more.
20 years since the authorities in Scotland set up a league system where the clubs met each other 4 times each season. Many in the Scottish game feel that that's not been a particularly productive move, that familiarity has brought a sort of contempt. It's certainly made it difficult week in, week out against opponents that know the game plan so often. But you have to say there's been nothing lost in the appeal of the Old Firm fixture by having double rations. Boyd trying to prevent the corner. Well played by him.
Well played by Galloway as well. No panic from either of them. It was good defending. Tom Boyd very precise, and Mike Galloway, no fluke, just nicking it off. Loudrup for the throw-in.
Boyd in there quickly. Celtic doing what they have to do defensively, but they're not being given too many problems in truth. Activity on the Rangers bench. Walter Smith has come down to maybe supervise a substitution here, talking to Ian Durant. And there's the tactical briefing. McCall. Well, Miller could get in here. Ferguson does. Ferguson against the run of play in truth, but Rangers lead.
And it's all down to the man who will at midfield, Martin. 5 minutes earlier could easily come off. Charlie Miller. Stuart McCall just knocks a ball over the top. Miller's first to react. They get the break of the ball there. Ferguson's the first to react, and he tucks it in quite comfortably. But that's just a hopeful ball in, and Miller makes something happen. He doesn't quite connect with a volley, and that ends up a simple task for Ian Ferguson to put Rangers ahead.
Goal after 38 minutes to reactivate Rangers here, when Walter Smith was down on the bench thinking substitution. Suddenly his side are in front. McStay. Here's Burr. Too high for Bowley to reach. Cleared out by McCall. Laudrup turning McLaughlin once and twice. Well, the fans, you felt, were having furrowed brows, the vast majority here, with the shape of the first half. But suddenly Rangers have scored. And the reward for Ian Ferguson for following in. That's Galloway. And rather high by Bowley. Wasn't a total clearance. Now the game has been stopped with 2 players down. Richard Gough certainly the victim for Rangers. But a moment in which to reflect on the goal, Andy.
Came at the right time for him. Phil O'Donnell's the injured Celtic player. He sees the ball's played in. Look at the committed faces here, going 3 of them. Richard Gough and Phil O'Donnell, look at that, right in Phil O'Donnell's left cheek. And he would have felt that, man, but he's up and he's on his feet. But this is the moment that's lifted the crowd here, the majority of them. Now watch Ferguson there, you see him, the number 8. Now he's level almost with Stuart McCall as he knocks it in, and Ferguson goes. Miller gets blocked, shots get blocked. Bonner can't keep his feet, and it's a simple task for Ian Ferguson to give his side the lead. Been out the side recently, it's a nice way to come back for him.
Well, we first heard of Ian Ferguson when he got a Scottish Cup winning goal in his time at St Mirren. Really attracted the attention of Rangers, and an old firm goal for him here to perhaps bring some order to the home team, who hadn't been serving up their best. Finding the Celtic strategy, smothering the attacking ideas, and as we were stressing, Celtic growing in confidence prior to the goal through midfield. O'Neill, he probably thought he cleared the danger with that defensive header that went to McCall, popped it back in behind Celtic, and it ran for Rangers from then on. Halstra, Robertson. 3 minutes to go to half-time plus stoppage time. It's a fine ball by Gough. Caused some uncertainty in Stuart Gray. Crossed by Laudrup. Clearing header again by O'Neill. Walker trying to help it on. It's a big man, Basil Bowley, to come flying into you as he did to Walker then. That's the Paul's header, making his own defenders work. McLaughlin comes for Collins. This is Byrne. Galloway goes outside him. Scott coming off his line and getting there before Andy Walker.
They only had the one option though, Byrne, and that was Walker. It was a lovely move. Great ball from Collins, left to right. Good run from Galloway. It gives him time, but look at that. 3 blue shirts against Andy Walker. And that's what I mean about he needs more help in there. When balls are coming into the box, someone from the midfield area for Celtic has got to do what Ian Ferguson did for Rangers.
Really, you'd expect O'Donnell to be the man. But after that facial clash with Goff, I'm amazed he's still standing. McStay. Galloway. It comes for O'Donnell. Trying to tee up McLaughlin.
Well, his chances go for Celtic the first half. That's a decent one. He's get caught with the flight of it, Basil Borley, I felt. He gets caught with the flight of it there. He can't quite reach it. Phil O'Donnell does well. He just shifts it. It's there to be hit. Keep it down. He can't do it. Over the top.
It's a sort of outswinger that Darren Goff will be hoping to bowl for England in a couple of hours. Fascinating final day of the Test match that you'll see on Sky Sports. McStay. Here's Collins. All alive as Celtic have to be. Certainly got the craft and the class in midfield with Collins and McStay. Have they got the clout up front? Galloway. Byrne. Give and go here. That offers some promise for Celtic. Tim McCluskey looks away. Only one or two Celtic players appealing as Walker went down. McLaren with what was required really, and he was just slipping and sliding for a moment.
It's been a good response from Celtic, Martin, since the goal. They've put 2 or 3 decent attacks together, but they just haven't connected with their final ball into the box. But they've got themselves in some good forward positions wide.
Well, Walker's working hard to be the first man, but if he takes defenders away, Celtic have got to have 1 or 2 other avenues if they're going to get back here, having conceded the first goal. That's the sort of midfield minefield explosion that you expect with so much physical contact, and plenty of it being allowed by the referee. Galloway. This is Byrne. Bolly took it away from the goalkeeper.
Well, I'm sure he called. He certainly looked like he called, Colin Scott. And if you're going to get in the mix-up with your goalkeeper, at least put your head on it and clear it. And Basil Borley will say, well, I did that. But again, Celtic got themselves into a good advanced area wide, Martin, and delivered the ball into the box.
It's half-time at Ibrox. Celtic have given a good account of themselves, but Rangers lead. Ian Ferguson back in the side, following in to good effect. And Celtic have to solve the problem of supporting Andy Walker if they're going to get something here from the Old Firm game at New Year. At the moment, it's 1-0 to Rangers at half-time.
Six attempts at goal from Rangers, 3 on target, 5 from Celtic, but that really tells its own tale. Nothing on target yet. They forced more corners, 2. Just the 1 from Rangers. Just 1 offside decision in 45 minutes. 2 early bookings for Celtic, but they've had the better of the possession, 52% of it, and 27% in that Rangers third. Well, these boys here are happy enough, aren't they? Bitterly cold night, but that wouldn't matter just yet for those Rangers fans. And Celtic can draw inspiration from the fact that their team have played well in that first half. I think Frank McAvaney's happy enough with their performance so far, not the scoreline obviously, but the goal did put a smile on Terry Butcher's face. But are Rangers worth it, Terry?
Well, they've had the two best chances of the game, Brian Loudon when he's clean through, and obviously the goal from Fergie. But I mean, Celtic have done the job well, got behind the ball, frustrated Rangers, not really allowed Loudon the chance to run at people, but he was clean through once and missed.
They have had the better of it in terms of possession though, Frank. That must be encouraging for them.
It's encouraging for me, the winger, McLaughlin. I think he's been giving McLaren a hard time out there. If they can get the ball to him more and get someone to support Andy Walker up front, and I think they can turn around the second half.
Turn something of that possession into attempts at goal.
I think so. You know, they've got to do it. They've got to get support to Andy Walker. It's a hard time he's got against Richard Gough and Bolly up there.
Well, just the one goal so far scored by Ian Ferguson, just really as Celtic were beginning to dominate. I think that's fair to say, isn't it, Terry?
Yeah, it was a good header out of defence here, and when Stuart McCall gets the ball, really, there's only one thing he can do, is push it back in, but Celtic don't really seem to reorganise. A swipe there by Charlie Miller just goes right across the face of the goal. Luckily, Ian Ferguson reads the situation well and pops up. It wasn't a bad header out, really, to be fair, and there's only one thing on Stuart McCall's mind here, just to lob it back in. As soon as defenders know that's going to happen, they should readjust. They didn't quite readjust in the fall, and it just fell nicely for Ian Ferguson, his good foot to put in.
Who enjoyed popping that away. What will Celtic do, Frank, second half? Will they readjust slightly in order to help Andy Walker?
I think so, they've got to, because Andy's been totally out of the game. He's got experienced pros around about him and good defenders, and it's hard to get the ball up to him. They've got to get support up. I think they'll either release O'Donnell from midfield and push him up to stay up, or bring someone on, and they've got to change it around somehow. Because the winger's getting the ball and he's getting good possession on the ball, but there's no targets in the box for him.
1-0 to Rangers so far. There's a long way to go yet. What will Celtic do about that? Well, we'll find out in a moment or so when we come back with the whole of the second half live from the latest Old Firm encounter here at Ibrox. On the park, they lead in the Old Firm clash by 1-0. What is Celtic's response to that likely to be? Can Rangers hang on, Terry? They still favourite?
I think they are still favourite very much. I think with Loudon up, you never know. I mean, if Celtic come out and try and press and try and push people forward, it just leaves the spaces open for Brian Loudon when he does get the ball to have the right go at one or two defenders. So at the end of the day, Rangers have, in the past few weeks, been soaking up a lot of pressure, sucking teams in and then hitting them on the break. And they can attack teams and press back teams, and also let teams come onto them and then counter-attack as well.
Well, you suspect there's a few twists and turns in this match yet, Frank, yes?
Yeah, I think so. They've got nothing to lose now. They're one down. As well losing 2 or 3 and going for it.
OK, let's rejoin Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thanks, Richard. The first thing to tell you is that Ian Durrant is on for Charlie Miller. A back injury, the problem for the 18-year-old, who did play a part in the goal by which Rangers lead from Ian Ferguson. Ian Durrant, who's had a spell on loan recently, of course, at Everton.
He won't actually go now, Mark. You see, he's tucked back in this right-sided midfield role, which I feel means that Gordon Jury's going to play up front as that furthermost striker. In fact, yes, he is. And that's the change that Wallace Smith's had to make.
Well, Durrant came back. Duncan Ferguson didn't from Goodison. That was over, Bolly. Walker didn't appreciate it straight away, and then Goff came careering into him. Back comes McLaughlin. Had plenty of the ball in the first half, and one of Durrant's responsibilities will be to help out Alan McLaren, you feel. Gray. Now Collins. Here's McStay. Galloway. There's the Celtic. short spell in English football with Halifax and Mansfield. Nice clearance by, dispute clearance by Ferguson. Celtic still pressing on. And the incentive for Celtic attacking the end behind which their supporters are gathered. It has been a ferocious start to the second half.
It's been exactly the start Tommy Burns would have wanted from his side, Martin. Pressure immediately.
Celtic have a free kick. Paul Byrne to take it. Just too high for O'Neill. Knocked out of harm's way by Jury. And Rangers can regroup. Houstra. Crowd these days at Ibrox less than 50,000, although the capacity will go up beyond that with the next stage of redevelopment. But the Celtic minority pleased to see the confusion.
Well, they shouldn't be giving the goalkeeper a stick. They really shouldn't, Martin. I thought the young goalie did well. How often do you see it when a goalkeeper and a defender get too close together? He just allowed the centre-back to deal with it, and in all honesty, he didn't deal with it very well.
Goalkeeper deals with that well, Colin Scott. Andy Gorham was telling me he's maybe 3 days away from his comeback. The game's come 3 days early for him. He'd love to have been out there tonight. And Scott slipping as he cleared. A call. Is Laudrup being tugged.
Well, he has a danger. I think one of the things, if you were Walter Smith, you would have been saying is try and get the ball to Brian Laudrup a little bit more. When you see the problems he's given Mike Galloway, he's hauling away at his jersey there. That's an easy decision for the referee.
Well, Bowley made the run towards the near post. Exchange of views there with O'Neill and Boyd involved as well.
Well, get a good look at it. Watch the two people in there. Well, he makes a run. It doesn't do an awful lot wrong for me. Brian O'Neill is entitled to hold his ground. He's entitled just to let the ball drift aimlessly past him. But he took exception to it, Basil Bowley.
He, incidentally, is the son of a diplomat, but he hasn't been particularly diplomatic himself, Bowley, in his time in Scotland. You remember earlier in the season he spoke out against his teammates and his manager. Got himself into hot water and had to sort all that out. And at the moment he's all fired up here, feeling, even as a foreigner, the special pressures of this particular fixture.
I'm not surprised to see Tommy Burns send his side out with the same formation, Martin, early in the second half. I think that makes sense. At 1-0, they're still very much in the game, and they didn't play badly, I felt, in the first half. And perhaps a little unfortunate to go in at the break 1-0 down. So I'm not surprised to see the same formation set out, but I just wonder how long it will be if the scoreline stays the same before he looks to change it, and with Charlie Nicholas being the obvious one to bring on.
Laudrup, that's another throw. It's a throw.
Well, he's got great feet, Brian Laudrup, he really has. He just drifts out of play with this one. But the way he just dinked past people there, oops, there's one, and just goes out. But watch it again as he just, someone comes in and he's passed again. Great skill.
And we shouldn't be surprised, he's an established international figure, and all credit to Walter Smith for being able to attract him to play for Rangers Football Club. Already at this stage, they reckon he's a cert to pick up all the individual honours. Walker. Well, suddenly there was an opening there. Phil O'Donnell was ploughing through. It's a corner.
It was a good opening. It was a really good opening. And that's what they need more of. Phil O'Donnell doing things like this. Walker gets a touch. It's very important that David Robertson's covering was good. His positioning had to be good, or else too far away, O'Donnell was through, clean shot at goal. But David Robertson was across very, very quickly to get a very important tackle in. But you see O'Donnell for about the first time in the match breaking into the 18-yard box. A real threat. And what a good, timely interception that was.
It's Byrne. Oh, well reached by Bowley. Collins. For McLaughlin. Plenty of Celtic players in the Rangers penalty area. McStay. Galloway. Rangers pen back. And McLaren's header veers behind for a corner.
Good pressure. This is really good pressure.
Helping out well there against another quick McLaughlin turn.
He's looked great, Brian McLaughlin, tonight, Mark, when he's had the ball. Like Frank McAvenny says, I agree with him in half-time. If they could get the ball more to this left side with Stuart Gray and him in tandem. And John Collins, who favours his left side as well. That was our best option in the first half. McLaughlin showed us there, he's still confident enough to take people on and provide crosses.
Walker. Gray. Hammering it in. Blocked by Bowley. The worry for Celtic is what Rangers can create on the counter-attack. Not much there from Jury. Header down. Little touch from Houstra. Flag up against Brian Lardner. Such a famous footballing family, brother Michael and their father Finn was a Danish international as well. And it's not been a game littered with offside decisions.
Which is nice to see. I think both defences are backed off, man. That's the thing. Always been prepared to hold a line.
But Celtic keeping it in. Jim McCluskey allowing it to be a man's game. All the tenacity you'd expect in the tackling. Plenty of free kicks conceded, but mostly uncomplainingly. Going wide by McCall. Another attempt to involve Loudrip in proceedings. You can't blame Rangers for doing that whenever possible.
I think they're anxious though about this left side, Rangers, because Archie Knox called across the pitch and brought Brian Loudrip all the way from left to right. We said to him, you know, it looked like he was saying to him, stay here for 5 or 10 minutes.
Rangers looking for a win here, which would extend their advantage over Motherwell to 13 points. And in terms of Glasgow partisan feeling, would put them 20 points ahead of Celtic. McStay. O'Donnell going in. Well, he's getting in there.
That's better.
A bit more often now.
That's better. You see, the crosses a bit in first half, Martin. No